To the Australian share market now, which kicked off the week with a loss, the ASX 200 down about 0.25%. Energy stocks fell the most. Diversified companies Soul Patts and builder Brickworks surged after they announced a $14 billion merger. And BlueScope was also a standout despite Donald Trump's move to lift steel and aluminium tariffs from 25 to 50%.
As investors anticipate higher US steel prices benefiting its American operations, with North America accounting for 42% of BlueScope's earnings, its Ohio-based North Star mill stands to gain from reduced import competition and improved margins.
The Australian dollar rose against the greenback at just over 64.5 US cents. It's also stronger against the other major global currencies. In commodities, oil firmed as OPEC said it would increase output less than expected. Gold, meanwhile, climbed 1.62% on this time last Friday. Rio Tinto has signed a groundbreaking deal with the traditional owners of Juukan Gorge following the destruction of 47,000-year-old rock shelters in 2020. In a statement, Indigenous representatives said the agreement gives much greater say to traditional owners over what happens to these lands. Rio says the deal will help formalise how it engages on proposals impacting heritage lands and its surrounds. The destruction of Juukan Gorge sparked global condemnation and led to a parliamentary inquiry into Australian heritage legislation. The company says it will forever be sorry for its actions. Lower interest rates have contributed to another rise in home values to record levels. Cotality says prices rose nationally 0.5% last month to be up 1.7% for the year, pushing the median to above $830,000. Capital city prices rose across the board, Sydney by 0.5% to above $1.2 million. And while Brisbane, Hobart and Perth rose by more than 0.6%, Darwin saw the biggest increase in May, up 1.6% as investors moved in.
It does mean affordability is remaining a real challenge in the market. And you've got to admit, this is one of the key headwinds in the housing market, is simply that housing is quite unaffordable, particularly for first home buyers. So I think you'll find that's one of the factors that keeps a lid on price growth going forward. Even though we're expecting values to continue rising, I certainly don't expect to see another housing boom ahead of us.
Tim Lawless says he expects property prices to increase between 6 and 8% by the end of the year. And businesses are being asked to join the fight against increasingly sophisticated scams by partnering and sharing their data with the National Anti-Scam Centre, which is run by the ACCC. It says while the number of reported scams fell so far this year, losses actually rose compared to the same time last year. Most came from phishing scams, which involve scammers posing as government agencies or financial institutions. The ACCC says by sharing information with the National Anti-Scam Centre, scams can be disrupted faster and reduce the harm they cause. And while one piece of data may be unremarkable on its own, it can form powerful intelligence, Janice, when joined with other pieces of information.